Hi students, in this video we are going to discuss Infosys verbal paper 6, test paper 6. So the first question here we have is idiom. Choose the best alternative which expresses the meaning of the idiom. A mare's nest, and the options they are given us are brief lecture, talking behind the curtain, complicated situation, a small possession. So when it comes to solving idioms, again just like synonyms, we do not have any logical explanation here. Idioms are the phrases which we use where in a idiomatic sense. So just we need to come and read through different idioms and we need to remember them. So here basically when we say mare's nest, a situation that is initially exciting but turns out to be a chaotic or complicated thing. So, such kind of situation we call it as mare's nest. So, that is the reason here the appropriate answer is a complicated situation. A mare's nest means a complicated situation. Next one, choose the most appropriate one word for expression for the expressions given below. An area within which someone or something has authority, influence, or knowledge, which means the we need to find one word answer here for this. An area within which someone or something has authority, influence, or knowledge. That means nothing but purview. Okay, we call it as purview. Okay, what do we mean by here? Lagoon. Lagoon is nothing but body of water. Okay, refers to a body of water. How about hinterland? It is nothing but remote or undeveloped areas. We call them as hinterland. And last option we have is vicinity. I'm sure you might have heard of it. Vicinity is nothing but nearby areas. Okay, that is the meaning of vicinity. Vicinity, hinterland means remote or undeveloped areas, and lagoon means water bodies. Okay, so here the right answer is purview, which means someone or something has authority or influence or knowledge. Next we have paragraph, passage, reading comprehension. A day after Pfizer sought the Indian regulators' nod for emergency use authorization for its mRNA vaccine, the Pune-based Serum Institute of India has approached the regulator for a similar nod for its vaccine, Covishield, developed by Oxford University. Unlike Pfizer, AstraZeneca, which is carrying out of the phase 3 trials of Oxford vaccine in 4 countries, is yet to secure a nod from any of the regulatory agencies. AstraZeneca recently gave details of interim safety and efficacy data involving 131 COVID-19 cases in the phase 3 trials in UK and Brazil. But details of the trials in India are not out yet. The unprecedented speed in taking the vaccine from the development stage to approval process in less than a year is remarkable and perhaps necessitated by the toll the virus has taken on lives and livelihoods. But this is not without the cause of concern at a time when governments are putting pressure on regulatory bodies to fast track the entire process. Lack of transparency about vaccine safety and efficacy does no good in gaining people's confidence and willingness to get vaccinated. While Moderna, Pfizer, and AstraZeneca took the extraordinary step of publicly sharing the trial protocol, the time points at which interim analysis of phase 3 trials in India will be carried out for safety and efficacy is unclear. So here they have asked the choose the opposite in meaning or to the word given. So they are asking us opposite. So the meaning of interim is temporary, we all know. So the opposite is permanent. Next one, here they have asked the similar or closest meaning to the word efficacy. Efficacy. So the meaning of the word here is efficacy. Efficacy is nothing but effectively. Inefficacious, inefficacy, all these are opposites. So the right answer is effectivity. Next one we have, unlike Pfizer dash, which is carrying out phase 3 trials of Oxford vaccine in 4 countries, is yet to secure a nod from any of the regulatory agencies. So where was it given? Unlike Pfizer, AstraZeneca, which is carrying out phase 3 trials of Oxford vaccine. Unlike Pfizer, which is AstraZeneca, AstraZeneca, which is carrying out phase 3 trials. Next one, select the wrong sentence according to the paragraph. Lack of transparency about vaccine and safety and efficacy does no good in gaining people's confidence and willingness to get vaccinated. This I remember has been given in the paragraph. Where is it? Okay. So here, the lack of transparency about vaccine safety and efficacy does no good. So this is not a wrong statement. Next one, AstraZeneca recently gave details of interim safety and efficacy data involving 139 COVID cases. So here also AstraZeneca recently gave details COVID-19 in UK and Brazil. This is also given in our paragraph, right? Next one, while Moderna, Pfizer, and AstraZeneca took the extraordinary step of publicly sharing their trail protocol. Trail protocol. The time points at which interim phase analysis of phase 3 in India will be carried out, safety and efficacy is unclear. But this particular thing is not mentioned in that statement. So that is the reason option 3 is incorrect. Next one, the the time points at which interim analysis of dash trail in India will be carried out, safety and efficacy is unclear. So here this is phase 3 trail in India will be carried out, safety and efficacy. That is phase 3. Next one, we have a sentence has been given with a blank to fill the appropriate word. She was there dash to the outside world for almost 2 years. Connection, connects, connecting, connect. She was there, connection to the outside world. Yes, this is appropriate here. This is correct. Next one, she was there, connects to the outside world. This is wrong because it sounds very awkward. She was there connecting to the outside world. Again, this is not relevant. Next, she was there connect to the outside world for almost 2 years. This is sounding better here, but if you look at 1 and 4 options, both are likely to be answers. But here, if we understand connection is a noun, whereas connect is a verb, acting as a verb here. So, but here we need to place the noun form, right? Because she was their connection to the outside world. Here we are talking as a person. Connection means here we are talking as a person. So that is the reason we have to use here noun word rather than a verb. So that is the reason option 1 is correct. She was their connection. Next one, what are they asking? In the following sentence, 4 words or phrases have been underlined. One of them is incorrect. Choose the incorrect word. So they are asking us to choose the incorrect word. The protesters campaigned for some months now against the sealing of commercial establishments in residential colonies. The protesters campaigned for some months now against. So if you look at here, the protesters campaigned, they mentioned campaign which means past, for some months now. Again, they have mentioned now. This is incorrect. Now is not required because we are talking about past, right? We no need to mention now here. So that is the reason option 3 is incorrect. Next one, they have given us 4 alternatives. Select the alternative which improve the underlined part of sentence. The Prime Minister of India is looking forward to interact with his Chinese counterpart in upcoming bilateral summit. So whenever whenever we are writing, especially you might have come across looking forward to this kind of phrase in a letter as well, or you write in a mail um, at the end of the at the end of your mail or letter. So remember one thing, always whenever you write looking forward to hearing from you, or looking forward to listening from you, we always need to use gerund here. Gerund is nothing but verb plus ing, that is gerund, right? So this is the structure. Okay, so we should not change this structure. Always next to looking forward to there should always be gerund. So that is the reason. Similarly here we need to use looking forward to interacting. We should use interacting. Okay, so I am removing this. That is the reason. Always 2 plus gerund form. Whenever you use looking forward, usually we say 2 plus v1, but in this particular case, we need to use looking forward to interacting. Okay, gerund. Next one, a sentence is given with a part of it missing and represented by a blank. Choose the phrase that can be placed in the given blank to make a meaningful and grammatically correct sentence. So here, social distancing is not just for the sick, but for each and every person, Modi said in a nationwide dash last week. Modi said in a nationwide, address, thought, monologue, none of these. So if you look at here, nationwide, we don't use monologue. Of course, monologue is someone uh, who's, who speaks. We call them as monologue. But here, this particular situation is talking to the whole nation. So when we have the context of talking to the whole nation, we say address. Nationwide address. Modi said in a nationwide address. We don't say monologue. Next one we have parajumble sentence arrangement. Whenever you have parajumble questions, first look at the options. The starting sentences are very different, R, Q, S, R. So we need to just have a look. S is and, R says but, and P is starting with that. So if you look at P, R, S, all these but and under conjunctions, we don't start a sentence with conjunction because there should be something before that, and that is also a demonstrative pronoun. That means it represents something, that means, so that is the reason PRS. P, where is P? We don't have P. R, yes, we have two R's. So the starting sentence should always be Q. So that is the reason here Q is the direct answer. It is the way to find out sentence correction. Next we have, in the following questions, some part of the sentence may have errors. Find out which part of the sentence has an error. When we are able to stop, pause, think more about our actions, words, thoughts, we begin to see the cause and effect more clearly. When we are able to stop, pause, and think this particular sentence is correct, more about our actions, words, and thoughts, again, this is correct, we begin, correct, to see the cause and effect. So if you remember, we have discussed cause and effect. What is the meaning of affect? Affect acts as a verb. Okay. Affect acts as a verb. Effect acts as a noun. Effect acts as a noun. Okay. Affect acts as a noun. Effect acts as a verb. So effect means nothing but outcome. Okay. So to see the cause and effect, not affect. Affect is to influence, right? Affect means it is acting as a verb. There is some action, but here cause and effect. Remember, if you are getting confused whether cause and effect or affect, always remember effect means noun, which means outcome. Okay, you can remember this particular mnemonics, Raven. Okay, Raven means R is for remember, A is for affect, V is here, V is for verb, okay, E is for effect, and N is for noun. Okay, remember A is for, okay, A is for affect means verb. These are two sentences. Affect means verb, En means effect means noun. So Raven means remember, affect is verb, effect is noun. So this is a small mnemonic we can remember. Understood? So in that sentence, here affect is, instead of affect, we need to write effect. So that is the reason option 3. Next one, identify the best way to improve the bold part of the sentence. There are sufficient funds to meet the requirements of entire schools in our zone. There are sufficient funds to meet the requirements of entire schools in our zone. So there are sufficient funds to meet the requirements of all the schools in our zone. We don't say requirements of, because they have mentioned entire, so we need to use all here. Next one, again we have sentence corrections. Sorry, sentence arrangement question. Let us look at the options. In all the options, D is the starting sentence. So that means that we can understand D is the first one. And we have DC, DB, DA, DB. So we have again all the sentences A, B, C, D. What we could have gotten away with had the world. Today we will need social isolation methods. Sorry, I am reading wrong. So the starting sentence is D. Today we will need social isolation methods which we could have gotten away with had the world. What we have gotten away with the world. Okay. That are far from, again here we have B. That are far more stringent than. When we say that, what does that mean here? We are not in the, we need to have an answer, right? Because that represents something. With had the world, what does world had? So it is not answering. So that is the reason DCB is incorrect. Now let us check second option, DB. Today we will have need social isolation methods that are far more stringent. That are, so here if we see D and B are interlinked. That are far more stringent than C. What we could have gotten away with had the world, with the world. Reacted collectively to nip this in the bud. So that is the reason option B is the answer. If you look at other options, today we will need social isolation methods. Reacted collectively to nip this in the bud. Again, it is saying what we could have gotten away with had the world, that are far more stringent. Again, this that is not indicating social isolation methods. So that is the reason C, sorry, 3 and 4 are also wrong. Next one, choose the correctly spelled word. Here it is spellings. Felicitation. Felicitation is nothing but congratulations. Okay, we do felicitation when someone felicitation ceremony like that, right? So what does it mean? Felicitation is nothing but congratulatory or praising someone. That is the meaning of felicitation. Next one, choose the word which best expresses nearly the same meaning of the given word. Here we have the word reticent. Okay, reticent. So the first word we have here is verbose. Verbose means talkative. Like someone who talks a lot, we call them verbose. Foul smell, you all know, which is not good smell. Next one, taciturn. Tacti, Taciturn. Taciturn means nothing but reserved or reluctant to speak. Reserved or reluctant to speak. Sorry, taciturn means, yeah, reserved or silent. Correct. Taciturn means reserved or silent. And what is the meaning of reticent? Reticent also means reluctant to speak or being reserved. That is the meaning of reticent. So that is the reason here the appropriate word is taciturn. The last word here we have is entourage. Entourage means refers to a group of people. It refers to group of people. That is the meaning of entourage. Taciturn means silent, talkative. That is the meaning of verbose. So appropriate word is reticent also means someone who is reserved or reluctant to speak. That is the meaning of reticent. Okay, that is reserved, nothing but silent. Next one, choose the most appropriate grammatical sentence from the following. Grammatically appropriate. So if you look at here, we have question mark. So always whenever you see a question mark, always it should start with double H word, who, or double H word plus helping verb. Always this should be the structure. So here we have all double H words and helping verb. There is no issue with that, but I'm just telling you, always remember it should be double H word plus helping verb, then only it becomes a question. So if you see here, who is supplying these students such dangerous drugs? Who is supplying these students with such dangerous drugs? Who are supplying these students such dangerous drugs? And who is supplying these students on such dangerous drugs? So obviously here, who is supplying these students on such dangerous drugs? This is completely wrong, right? We no need to use on here. Now if you see here, who are supplying these students such drugs? But here in this particular sentence, with is needed. Okay, who are supplying these students with such dangerous drugs? So with always the structure is someone supplying someone with something, right? That is the reason option 2 is correct. So here someone means students. Someone supplies someone with something. Something is nothing but drugs. So this is the correct usage of grammatical sentence with such drugs. Next we have provide an appropriate synonym. Ardent. This is the underlined word. Ardent. He is an ardent supporter of Liverpool. What is the meaning of ardent? Someone who is passionate. Okay. What is the meaning of ardent? Passionate. So if you look at the words arrogant, impossible, strength, arrogant and impossible both are negative words, so we can directly eliminate them. Now we ended up with devoted or strength. So here the appropriate word would be devoted, right? Devoted also means loyal or dedicated, right? So devoted means dedicated. Next one, we have choose the correct option for assertive to interrogative transformation. What is the meaning of assertive? Assertive sentence is a sentence that ends with a full stop. We call them as assertive sentences. And what is interrogative? Interrogative sentence is a sentence that ends with question mark. Okay. So here, man cannot die better than facing fearful odds. That is the question. Man cannot die better than facing fearful odds. So let us read the questions without changing the meaning. How can man die better than having to face fearful odds? Having to face. Here, this particular thing is not required. So that is the reason option 1 is wrong. Next one, how can man die better than facing fearful odds? This sounds correct. Can man die better than having to face fearful odds? Again, this is incorrect. Next one, can man die better than facing odds? Here they are asking interrogative question. Always interrogative question starts with double H words or how, the what, why, when, where, how. These are the words that starts with usually interrogative questions. Here this is can man die means it is like a yes or no question. Rather than that, we should use interrogative question is how can man die better than facing fearful odds. So that is the reason option 2 is correct. So here felicitation is correct. Okay. So now let us move on to sentence correction questions. Sorry, grammar test. We have grammar test here. She dashed to the store every Saturday to buy groceries. So she is a singular subject. We have to use singular verb, that is goes. She goes to store every Saturday. Again they are saying every Saturday. So it is a repeated repetitive action which we use it in simple present. So that is the reason she goes to store every day. Next one, if I dash enough money, I would buy a new car. Okay, here if I have enough money, I would buy a car, or if I had enough money, I would buy a car, or what is the right answer here? Will if I will have enough money, I will buy a car. Which is the right answer here? You may get confused. Should I use have or had here? So that's where I want to take you to if clauses. Okay, I'm sure if you know if clauses, just remember these if clauses. The first condition is if condition is if plus simple present followed by simple future. Okay, you have an example here. If I find her address, I will send her an invitation. So if you look at the first phrase is in simple present and the second phrase is in simple future. Simple past, simple present followed by simple future. Whereas if you look at sentence condition type 2, this is another condition if plus simple past followed by condition that is would plus bare infinitive. Okay. If you see here, it is possible but very unlikely that condition will be fulfilled. So this is the kind of sentence we use here. For example, if I were a prime minister, I would have changed the country. So here, if you see, I would have changed the country. So I would change the country. So if I found her address, I would send her an invitation. So that is the case here. If plus simple past, sorry, if plus simple past, if plus simple past followed by conditional. What is condition? Condition is nothing but would plus bare infinitive. Bare infinitive is nothing but simple present. Send. That is if clause condition 2. And we have if clause condition 3 as well, which means it is impossible that the condition will be fulfilled because it refers to the past. So you look at the example, if plus past perfect followed by would plus have plus past participle. You can see the example below. If I had found her address, I would have sent her an invitation. So this is the third if condition you have to remember. If I had found her address, would plus have plus weekly form. This is the structure. So now let us go back to the question. If I dash have had will have having, I would buy a car. So if I had enough money, I would buy a car. So we have to use here simple past. So that is had. We don't have here main verb. So the only verb that is acting as a main verb is had. So this is if clause second condition. If I had enough money, I would buy a new car. That is the reason we should not use have or will have or having. Next one, the teacher asked him dash his homework before the class started. The teacher asked him to complete his homework, right? To complete his homework before the class started. Next one, by the time we arrive, they dash the meeting. By the time we arrive, will finish, will have finished, finished, had finished. But here we have the clue. By the time we arrive, that means it is talking something about the future. So that is the reason by the time we arrive, they will have finished the meeting. So that is the reason future perfect. Will have finished is the answer. Next one, he is dash the player in the team. He is good player, is the good player, better player, best well. We don't say the good, the better, right? We say the best. Always when remember whenever you want to compare one person with many, we use best. Because among all the players, we want to say this person is the best. So we have to say he is the best player in the team. So here comes the end of verbal test paper 6. Thank you for listening.